Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum and a very good day. Hope you are fine and taking your online classes. Previously, I have delivered two topics for you. One of them was dipole moment, and then I prepared a lecture on inductive effect. This is the third topic that I'm going to deliver you, that is amines. And among amines, it is second lecture. In previous lecture, I told you about introduction of amines, their classification, their nomenclature. In this lecture, we shall some preparation methods that are used for the synthesis of amines. Basically, preparative methods for amines can be categorized into two classes. One of them is a general method for the preparation of amines, and second class is known as specific methods for the preparation of amines. There are total subclasses among general methods, three subclasses. One of them is alkylation of amines, second one is reductive amination, and third one is acylation reduction. As far as specific methods for the preparation of amines are concerned, these methods are typically used for the synthesis of special molecules, while the general method, they usually produce a variety or a mixture of primary, secondary, tertiary, or quaternary amines. In this way, there are some uh, mm, superior. The specific methods are in this way have some superiority as compared to general methods, because in these methods we can prepare molecule of our own requirement. So under specific methods, there are total five subclasses. One of them is Gabriel synthesis. This is named by the scientist who discovered this method. Second one is reduction of amides. Amides have carbonyl groups. So in this case, amide carbonyl group is reduced to CH2 group. Then reduction of nitro compounds. Nitro group contains NO2 group, so NO2 is converted into NH2. And the fourth one is reduction of nitriles. Nitriles have C triple bond N, so this group is reduced to NH2. And the last one is Hofmann degradation of amides. So there are total two methods uh, that use amides as their starting material. In the second subclass, that is reduction of amide, the length of chain remains the same as in reactant as we obtain from the product. But in Hofmann degradation, the parent chain is decomposed. So the total number of carbon atoms in reactants are different, and in the products are different from the reactant. So at the end, I have some questions for you as an assignment that I included in the second last slide of this lecture. Preparation of amines. There are two kinds of methods available for the preparation of amines. One of them is general methods, which usually produce a mixture of primary, secondary, and tertiary amines, while specific methods are applicable to only a specific type of amine. So we shall start from the general methods. Among general methods, the first type of reaction is alkylation of ammonia, and this reaction is also named as Hofmann reaction by the name of scientist who discovered this reaction for the first time. In these reactions, salts of primary amines can be prepared by treating alkyl halides with aqueous or alcoholic ammonia. Usually, ammonia available in our laboratory is aqueous solution of ammonia. Whenever you use ammonia, always use ammonia that is pre-cooled. Usually, the normal temperature to liquefy ammonia ammonia gas is minus 33 degrees Celsius. That is not possible to attain in our general chemistry laboratories. That's why ammonia is available in the form of its aqueous solution in our laboratories. Even though that ammonia should be used in pre-cooled form. If you will use fresh ammonia taking from store, so if you try to open in the lab, so you may face an accident because it come out with a very high pressure. So it is not recommended to use ammonia that is placed in your shelf at room temperature. Always use ammonia that is present in a refrigerator. And the alternative form of ammonia is alcoholic. So for this one, you can prepare a solution of ammonia in alcohol. So salt of primary amines on treatment with the base give primary amines. As we know that halogens have more electronegativity as compared to alkyl group. So there will be a partial negative charge on halide and there will be a partial positive charge on alkyl group. So it means halide of alkyl halide has negative center and alkyl have partial positive center. And we know from our previous knowledge that ammonia is a base according to Lewis and according to Lowry Bronsted because it can donate its lone pair of electron. So the arrowhead uh, from two dots on nitrogen is showing that ammonia is giving its lone pair to alkyl group, and the arrow that is showing the line or bond between R or X going towards X is showing that the bond between R and X is to be broken. So when ammonia donates its lone pair to alkyl group, then there will be a formation of coordinate covalent bond between ammonia and R. So it will convert into ammonium ion. The X that has taken its bonded pair from RX bond, it will be available in negative X or we can say in halide. So in the reaction mixture, there will be a cation that is ammonium cation and there will be an anion that is halide. So both of these cations and anions will be available in the form of a salt due to electrostatic force of attraction between cation and anion. But our target is to prepare an amine. So we need to break this salt. To break this salt, we shall add an alkali. So alkali will break this salt because alkali has stronger interaction to and the cation of alkali has strong affinity with X as compared to ammonia. So sodium will abstract halide ion from this ammonium halide and it will become a soluble salt and we shall get an oily layer of amine and water will be available in the reaction as a reaction media. This method is of very limited synthetic application because of multiple applications. The initially formed alkyl ammonium halide can react with another molecule of ammonia to give primary amine, which can then compete with ammonia and react with alkyl halide to give dialkyl ammonium halide. In these type of reactions, the initially formed alkyl ammonium halide will act as substrate just like ammonia. Its behavior towards alkyl halide will be just like behavior of ammonia. So in this way, we have two competitive substrates in the reaction mixture. One of them will be ammonia and the other one will be alkyl ammonium halide. So both of these two species will be reacting at a time with alkyl halide and from ammonia we shall get primary alkyl halide but from alkyl ammonium halide we shall obtain secondary amines and in the same reaction medium the dialkyl ammonium halide produced will also act similarly, just like ammonia and primary alkyl halide. So the product from ammonia will be primary alkyl halide. The product from primary alkyl ammonium halide will be secondary amine, and from dialkyl ammonium halide will be tertiary amines. So in this case, we are not able to get a pure product. We need a large exercise to get a purified single product. In this way, reaction continues to give a tertiary amine and even some quaternary ammonium salts if the alkyl halide is present in excess. For example, ethyl bromide react with ammonia to give below reaction. Ethyl bromide will react with ammonia to produce ethyl ammonium bromide. This ethyl ammonium bromide can react with ammonia just like ethyl bromide, and we shall obtain ethyl amine. Ethylamine will react with the ethyl bromide to give another ammonium salt, that is diethyl ammonium bromide. This diethyl ammonium bromide can react with ammonia to produce diethylamine. In the second reaction and in the fourth reaction, you can see the second and fourth equations are showing products of two reactions. The reaction number 1 and reaction number 3. Okay, now we are talking about equation number 5. In equation number 5, the reactant is diethylamine, that is going to react with alkyl halide. Now I am comparing reaction number 1 with reaction number 5. In reaction number 1, you can see the reactant, one of the reactant is ethyl bromide and the second reactant is ammonia. In equation number 5, you can see one of the reactant is same, that is ethyl bromide, but the second reactant is different. In the first equation it's ammonia, but in fifth equation it's diethylamine. So mean to see the diethylamine that is produced as a product in this reaction is involved as a reactant, and it will produce a tertiary ammonium bromide. This tertiary ammonium bromide will react with ammonia and the product will be tertiary ethyl amine. In this reaction, one thing that is a little bit confusing, in the previous equation or previous slide, I told you the utilization of alkali, that was sodium hydroxide. Sodium hydroxide was taking bromide. Similarly, ammonia can also serve to abstract bromide to form ammonium bromide. The role of ammonia in the second last equation of this slide is exactly similar as role of sodium hydroxide presented in the previous slide. This reaction will continue. The tertiary alkyl amine will react with another molecule of alkyl bromide. So you can compare now equation number 1 of this slide with the last equation of this slide. So in this way we can see one of the reactant alkyl bromide is same, but ammonia has been replaced by step. Ammonia was replaced by primary amine in equation number 3. Then ammonia was replaced by a secondary amine in equation number 5, and now ammonia has been replaced by tertiary amine. So multiple alkylation can be minimized by using a large excess of ammonia. A good yield of primary amine may be obtained by using a large excess of ammonia, and a very good yield of tertiary amine by using excess of alkyl halide. Now we come across the second general method for the preparation of amines, that is reductive amination, reactions in which aldehydes and ketones are converted into amines through catalytic reduction in the presence of ammonia or a primary or a secondary amine are called reductive amination. The initially formed amine is reduced to an amine. So it means initially aldehydes and ketones. Both of these two species have a carbonyl group, means they have C double bond O group. This group is converted into an amine, and at the second phase of this reaction the amine is converted into an amine. Ketonic group is always present in between the chain, but aldehyde group is present at terminal position. So aldehyde will always produce a primary amine, and ketone will always produce ketone can produce primary amine. Yes. So by a similar type of reaction will happen between ketone and amine with the elimination of water with the formation of an amine, and catalytic reduction will convert this amine into amine into an amine. This is an example of aromatic aldehydic compound that is going to be reacted with ammonia with the elimination of water molecule. Again an amine is produced, and further this amine is converted into benzyl amine by reductive hydrogenation in the presence of nickel. Second example is to demonstrate that the nature of product, means whether the product is primary amine or secondary amine or tertiary amine, is dependent on the nature of amine that we are using. In these reactions we have two type of reactants. One reactant is carbonyl compound, and the other reactant is amines. The class of product is mainly dependent on amine. If we are using ammonia, the product will be primary amine. If we are using primary amine, the product will be secondary amine. And the third case is the utilization of secondary amine will goes to the formation of tertiary amine. The course of reaction is exactly similar. Amine and aldehyde, amine or carbonyl compound will react to form amine. Then the amine will be converted into amine by catalytic hydrogenation in the presence of. Now we move towards the third category of general methods, that is acylation reduction. This general method for the synthesis of primary, secondary and tertiary amines involve acylation of ammonia, a primary amine or a secondary amine with an acid chloride or acid anhydride followed by the reduction of amide or substitute amide, thus obtained with hydrogen and a catalyst or with lithium aluminium hydride. This reaction is also comprised of two stages, as we have learned from this slide, that acylation of ammonia, primary amine or secondary amine with an acid chloride or acid anhydride followed by the reduction of amide or substituted amide. Actually, acid chloride and acid anhydride. These are derivatives of carboxylic acids. Derivative is a molecule that can always be prepared from a parent molecule. It cannot be prepared directly. Means I can give you a very simple example. You have studied chlorination of methane in the chapter of hydrocarbons. CH4 gradually loses its one hydrogen and converts into CH3Cl, CH2, Cl2, CHCl3, and ultimately it is converted into CCl4. Apparently, there is no hydrogen in CCl4, but we know that its name is tetrachloromethane. Although there is no hydrogen, its formula is CCl4. CCl4 is a derivative of methane because CCl4 can never be produced by reacting carbon and chlorine. Whenever we need to produce CCl4, it will always be produced from CH4. That's why CCl4 is known as a derivative of CH4. Similarly, acid chloride, acid anhydride, and amides. These three molecules are derivatives of carboxylic acids because they are always produced from carboxylic acid. So initially we shall take a derivative of carboxylic acid, whether acid chloride or acid anhydride. Then this will be converted into amide or substituted amide, and then we shall carry its hydrogenation with catalyst or lithium aluminum hydride to obtain our product, that is amide. In the reduction of amides, the carbonyl group is reduced to CH2 group. Acylation reduction provides a method for adding one alkyl group to the nitrogen atom of the starting amine. The reactant in this case is alkyl acid chloride plus ammonia. So chloride group will be replaced by NH2 group, and then its catalytic hydrogenation or reagent hydrogenation will convert C double bond O group into CH2 group. The product will be primary amine. But when we use primary amine instead of ammonia, the product will be secondary amine. And when we will use a secondary amine as shown in the last equation, the product will be tertiary amine. Like previous general preparative method for amines, the fate of product is dependent on the class of amine that we are going to be utilized as a reactant. Specific methods for the preparation of amines. The first method in this category comes as Gabriel synthesis. It involves the treatment of phthalimide with potassium hydroxide phthalimide to form potassium phthalimide. The phthalimide anion is a strong nucleophile and it reacts with an alkyl halide to give an alkyl N-alkyl phthalimide, which on hydrolysis with aqueous acid or base gives primary amines. In the equation, we can see a reactant is phthalimide. Phthalimide, in the presence of potassium hydroxide, loses one water molecule. Water molecule is actually being formed by H of NH and OH of potassium hydroxide. So OH will come from potassium hydroxide and H will come from phthalimide. So these two cation and anion will form a water molecule and hydrogen will be replaced by potassium. So this molecule will become as a salt that is known as potassium phthalimide. This potassium phthalimide will again continue a similar type of reaction. In this case, the second step of this reaction is exactly the copy of first reaction. In the first step, hydrogen was replaced by potassium, and in second step, potassium will be replaced by another cation, that is alkyl cation, and with removal of potassium halide. The third step is hydrolysis. Hydrolysis is a very simple. I think you might have studied from your higher secondary school that the process in which the substrate is broken as well as water is also broken. So potassium initially thalamide will be converted into potassium thalamide, then potassium thalamide will be converted into N-alkyl thalamide, and N-alkyl thalamide will undergoes hydrolysis in the presence of any acid or base to rupture this thalamide into phthalate ion and with the formation of a primary amine. The hydrolysis of an alkyne thalamide with aqueous acid or base is often difficult. It is often more convenient to treat an alkyl thalamide with hydrazine in refluxing ethanol to give a primary amine and thalazine 1,4-dione. Here a new term, that is reflux, is being used. A reflux is actually when we are going to conduct a reaction in the presence of a solvent for a prolonged time. In your practical class, you will come across refluxing. Refluxing, in reflux, we use a long neck condenser because in this reaction, ethanol is being used as a solvent. Ethanol has 79 degrees Celsius, its boiling point, and we need to heat this reaction to complete it for 2 or 3 or 4 hours. If we use open vessel, ethanol will evaporate within 5, 10, 20 minutes and our product will burn out. So to save any solvent from evaporation, we use a long neck condenser. Condenser has two jackets. The external jacket of a reflux condenser is connected to circulating water. So this circulating water helps to prevent evaporation of any solvent, and solvent molecules are condensed and fall down into the reaction mixture. So in short, we can say evaporation and condensation. These two processes are collectively known as reflux. So to conduct reflux, hydrazine is also not available in the form of hydrazine. In the laboratory, hydrazine is available usually in its salted form. So we use its solution. So its solution will produce in situ hydrazine. So rather than hydrolysis with aqueous acid or base, the alternative method is refluxing of N-alkyl with hydrazine in the presence of ethanol as a solvent under reflux conditions. Initially, this N-alkyl will rupture to a complex molecule. This complex molecule will be converted into thalazine 1,4-dione with the formation of our primary amine, that is RNH2. Reduction of amides. Primary amines can be obtained by the reduction of simple amides with lithium aluminum hydride, acetamide, lithium aluminum hydride. Ether is used as a solvent. Simply C double bond O is reduced into CH2. The product contains same number of carbon as original amide. The third class is reduction of nitro compounds. Aliphatic or aromatic compounds may be reduced to give corresponding primary amine. The reduction can be carried out either by catalytic hydrogenation or treatment of nitro compounds with acid or and iron. Zinc or tin or a metal salt like tin chloride can also be used as catalyst. Nitro compound using 3 hydrogen molecules per molecule of nitro compound produces an primary amine with the same number of carbon atoms. So nitrobenzene in the presence of catalytic hydrogenation or iron HCl combination is converted into aniline. Reduction of nitriles. Primary amines can be prepared by reduction of nitriles like alkyls and cyanides. In the earlier slide, I told you that when there is a triple bond between carbon and nitrogen, the class is known as nitrile. Reduction can be carried out similarly with hydrogen or with a catalyst such as nickel or platinum. And the alternative way of hydrogenation is lithium aluminum hydride. This method can be used for the lengthening of chain. This method one thing different from the previous sections because in this case uh, the chain of amine can be increased. C triple bond N is converted into C converted into CH2 and N converted into H2. So it means total 4 hydrogen atoms are involved in this reaction. Hofmann degradation of amides. Amides with no substituent on nitrogen react with solution of bromide or bromine or chlorine in sodium hydroxide to yield primary amines through a reaction as known as Hofmann degradation. The overall result is the removal of carbonyl group from the amide. The product contains one carbon less than original amide. As I told you at the start of this reaction, that there are two ways for production of amines from amide. One was reduction and the other one is degradation. Whenever there is a word degradation, it means there is a breakage of something. So in this case of preparative method, the carbon chain will be broken out and we shall get uh, n minus 1 number of carbon atoms in the product. The reaction is also applicable to produce aromatic amides. So amide plus bromine in the presence of alkali and water as a solvent or NH2, sodium bromide, sodium carbonide and water is as a solution form is available in the reaction. The mechanism of this reaction is uh, mm, hydroxide ion will abstract one hydrogen from NH2. One thing you must note that amines have basic nature, but amides are slightly acidic in nature. Sometimes this is a common question that is asked in MCQs or in short answer questions. Elaborate the acidic or basic character of amines and amides. Amines are typical basic in nature because their nitrogen can donate their lone pair to any negative species. But amides are capable to lose their proton. So a hydroxyl ion will capture one hydrogen among two hydrogens of amide group and it will become an anion. So to encounter this anion, bromine will give its one atom in the form of bromide to NH. We know that bromine is in liquid form and its molecular size is very heavy. So bromine can be polarized very easily. So N-bromoamide further reacts with another hydroxyl molecule to form acyl nitrene and this acyl nitrene rearranges itself to form an isocyanate. This isocyanate is converted into amine with the production of a carbonate salt. In the previous slide, you have noted that there are total four sodium hydroxide molecules are uh, being utilized in this reaction. So from this slide, you can count that two hydroxyl ions are being used in the first two reactions and two hydroxyl ions are mentioned in the last equation. So for one molecule of amide, there are total four hydroxyl group or four alkali units are required for accomplishing of this reaction. So at the end, I have a question for you. What do you know about amines, imines, and nitrines? What is difference between degradation of amides and reductive reduction of amides? Thank you so much. We'll see you in the next lecture. That will be about the reactions of amines. Assalamu alaikum. Allah Hafiz.